just want to first start off by saying thank you for watching this, because Lord knows there are 10,000 people doing the same exact thing that I'm doing for, and you could have been watching them. Maybe you are, but you're also here watching this. So thank you very, very much. A lot of people have been asking me to do this for a very long time. So for those that have been asking, you're welcome. Pretty much what I want to create here is a safe space for, especially with, Lord have mercy, that orange man being in the office and just people hating us for no reason. I wanted to create a safe space community and to hang out and just talk shit, or just I'll have a therapy session if you want. But the reason we're doing this video today is because I'm doing a reaction to a podcast called Hardly Initiated that I saw online. Watching a lot of YouTube content and a lot of political stuff lately, so it's been very interesting to see all this stuff played out, and a lot of it's negative. And I'm kind of sick of having all these negative people just saying all this crazy shit about our. We just have to take it, and I'm like, well, let me provide a positive. But I will talk my shit about straight people because, anyway. With that being said, so this podcast hardly initiated that I found with these two guys. I don't remember their names, Tyreek or Ryan, something like that. But these two guys seem to be nice guys. They seem to be, pretty normal, straight guys. They come from nice family, all this stuff. I guess I don't know them, but they had on their podcast two guests who were, I guess, former gay men who have been saved, and are no longer in the gay lifestyle, as they will continue to say if you actually watch this 3.5 hours of stuff. And one of their guests was named Rashad. And Rashad, I know Rashad from a Jubilee video that he did titled Former Libiquita People versus Current Libiquita People, or something like that, where it was like people who have been saved from being gay versus people who are still gay or whatever. And he was saying a lot of crazy things on his Jubilee video. I kind of just was like, oh, this is another crazy person talking nonsense about being saved and the religion and all this crap. And then I saw him on this podcast, and I was like, oh yeah, he really believes this mess. And he's like, it's bad. I'll get to later a lot of how I feel about this, but why is with this? I'm gonna set this clip up here, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Growing up in a Christian home, grandma said you're real. Pop said Jesus was real. Grandpa, my pastor back home said Jesus is real. But I'm like, Lord, you're really gonna have to reveal yourself to me. Because I knew if I became a Christian, guys, I was going to have to give up the fornication. I was going to have to give up the homosexuality. I was going to have to give up the sinful lifestyle, the pornography, all these things that, I'm going to be real, that I loved at the time, but was destroying me, And I said, Lord, you're really going to have to prove yourself to me. And so a few days later, I go and hang out with one of my friends at the time. And this specific day, I had on a crop top, a jean jacket, silk pants, and white acrylic toenails. Like I said, I was dressing like a woman, acting like a woman, all this stuff.
So again, aside from this obvious hideous selections that whatever he wore, it's just this idea that like singing like that or acting like that either A, makes you gay or makes you a woman. And it's like, no, not at all. But it was kind of crazy. And I could imagine people who are normal would find that very, very unsettling. I feel bad for people like him because it's clearly, obviously, a struggle in some way for them. So I didn't want to come into this making fun of people or reading or doing that. I do it internally, and I will, but I just want to come into it like that because I'm like, these people clearly are having issues with their identity, and it's difficult to watch sometimes.
When that was actually a pretty thorough breakdown.
With this, because you do have, and I believe in that episode, Reverend Williams spoke about. So the assumption is that, and let me know if this is correct, you can be born gay. I'm pretty much that's what he was saying. When you're sexually oriented to something.
Yes.
Okay, let me open this up with you, and then we'll move to Rashad. Do you think that it is people out there who can be born gay?
I don't particularly think that people can be born gay. I think.
All right, this is the age-old question, right? That everybody asks. And the answer is yes. It is simply yes. Myself, along with millions of other people that are walking this earth, have walked the earth since the beginning of time, can say the same thing. It's so funny how people think that being gay is a choice, right? And it's like, I wouldn't choose to be ridiculed and prosecuted and hated and made fun of, and I wouldn't choose any of those things. Like any of you people wouldn't choose that, right? So why the would I choose that, or any other gay person? We just want to live and be free like the rest of y'all. Because when I growing up, I was always a little light on my toes, and I liked girly things, and I also like things like I like playing with boy toys and girl toys, and I walked on my tiptoes, and I just gravitated naturally towards girly things. Now, obviously, I have a deep voice. I present pretty masculine, and I'm a boy's boy, but I just, I like feminine girly things too. I don't think there's shit wrong with that. But a lot of people do. I always grew up. I always grew up. I remember growing up and my mom saying, "Well, my family tiptoes," and we knew not even by your expectations. We just knew we were waiting for you to come out. And another thing too is I've never. I'm golden gay. Is where I've never kissed, made out with, had sex. I've never been with a girl in any capacity sexually at all, and don't want to. It's just not my thing. But and even though I get hit on by girls all the time, it's strange to me because I'm like, you can't tell because y'all can tell anything any other time. Anyway, so yeah, so I growing up, I always liked boys. I thought being gay was normal because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm normal, I'm regular. I, everybody else should like that too. Why would you like the opposite sex? Is strange. It was literally strange to me. Now I know that sounds fucking crazy because it is. Because being hetero is the normal. So me saying this is controversial, and I was a kid. I didn't know no better. I thought that what I was normal, and it was normal until everybody else kept saying you're gay or making fun of me or pointed it out that it was wrong. Because as far as I'm concerned, everybody that I know sincerely, and for you watching, I think I'm one of top of the list of people who are genuinely a good person. Period. Not just that I know, and it's just that I'm a good person because I've always been a good person and I always will be a good person because I have sympathy towards others. Even if I don't agree with you or if I don't even like you, I can still find empathy for you, right? Even that orange man that's in the office right now, I can't stand him at all. He's disgusting in many, many different ways. But I have empathy for him. I feel bad for whatever has got him to this point. It's rambling on about it. But yeah, it's not a choice and you can be born, you are born gay or you're not. Um, so I suggest, especially Christians, do your own soul searching before you sit up here and tell people what they should be doing and how they should live. Because not everybody believes in God. Not everybody is a Christian believes what you do. So you just saying this is just you telling people for what. You ain't gonna stop trans people from existing. You ain't gonna stop gays from existing by disliking them. To about people you grooming. Hell, everything that I saw as a kid, you know, coming up barbershops and my uncles and all these in family reunions. Oh, you ain't getting no pussy. You ain't fucking. You your girlfriend. So about girls. I was like, I'm 9 or I'm 12, so no. First of all, no. And second of all, I don't want that. I don't want a fucking girlfriend. So always over sexualizing me as a kid, always, especially the barbershop. And even as a kid, we would watch like movies and shanties. We would cover our eyes and like, don't watch this, don't watch this. And guess what? It was always straight sex scenes. It was never gay scenes. If I would have been anything groomed my whole life, especially where I'm from, it would have been to be straight. And it was a very difficult struggle because of where I'm from. But instead of being like, I'm going to pretend and act like y'all to fit in, I was like, fuck that, I'm going to be myself. And if you don't like it, you can know what you can do. All those things being said, I encompassing, I know that being gay is not a choice. And I was born to, real quick, is growing up, I always thought being gay was normal, right? Because that's just who I was. No matter what, it wasn't until people kept telling me that being gay was wrong that not that I want everybody to be gay in this world, because Lord knows I do not. That we're fine. But I just feel like people should be at least to feel safe enough to express how they feel about their sexuality. Everybody should, instead of being so judgmental, telling people how they should live. I think we should all explore in a safe, consensual, as far as being gay and just being a good person. Those that know me personally and intimately know that I'm a good person. I think on a scale of righteousness or how, relatively speaking, I think I'm on the higher scale of being a good person. I would think people who have met me and know me would say the same. And that's not in a cocky way or a boastful way or arrogant way or I think I'm better than anybody way, because I don't. I think that's what makes me a good person, is knowing that I'm not better than anybody else and that I don't. I allow room for space. I allow for people for error as I want to be allowed for error and mistakes, discourse, disagreements, and I can go toe to toe with anybody about anything that I care about, in a respectful way. So, and I've seen people, parents and children and adults and all kinds of humans treat each other really, really poorly. Like I've seen it. I've been around for a long enough time to know when things just aren't right, and instead of hoping and wishing that it was better or people were better, I just look at it for what it is and hold myself to a standard that I don't want to be like the majority of y'all out there, because the majority of y'all out there are very selfish and not kind to each other. As I've seen it, and I can't help seeing gay as a bonus to me. It just helps me in a lot of other ways. I don't want to ever be straight. Being a good person is being a good person no matter what, who, where, it doesn't matter. A lot of people out there who hate us for merely existing, and it's just not right. They're gonna have a platform to talk their shit. We're gonna have a platform for. I just got my ear pierced today. I feel like it hurts. Um, so That's why it looks a little funky. I have like two different earrings in my ears, but whatever. I've always wanted to get my. Anyway, this is not about my ear care. Maybe it should be. I just had fun today, and I was like, get up and just do something new, which I encourage everyone to do. Do 3 new things every day. I'm lazy, so I don't always do it, but this was one thing that I was like, randomly out of nowhere, I was going to the mall to buy a pair of sunglasses, and by the piercing, this place that sells jewelry, and I was like, I want to get my hair pierced, and I just went and did it. I don't know why I shared that, but I did. All right, you guys. Well, that's it for today. Um, Again, for real, thank you for watching this, listening. Hope you found some kind of entertainment out of it or some kind of value out of it. I'll catch y'all next time. But until we meet again, you can put comments and I don't know. But take care and thank you again. Thank you.